Hello, Jefferson County. This is Chris Lowery, your independent candidate for Jefferson County Sheriff. Had a few moments before I go to work here in a little bit for my second job, and I just want to come to you live. There's been some stuff going on social media that I was just curious what residents of Jefferson County thought about it. We'll talk about that here in a minute. We'll get a few people to come online. This is in relation to an outsider influencer coming into our community and highlighting the crime-ridden area, identifying Pine Bluff as one of the most dangerous city in Arkansas, as well as meeting up with several of these what appears to be people committing crimes or braggadocious about crimes that they have committed. And I'd just like to hear your thoughts on that. See if you've seen the video. We've got to come together as a community to denounce this, combat this, work with our local law enforcement, and not encourage it at all. Let's see if we get a few people online today. Bear with me. I'm seeing if anybody gets on here. Again, this is Chris Lowery, your independent candidate for Jefferson County Sheriff. Had a few moments before I go to work for my second job. Want to talk about a disturbing social media post that's going around where an influencer has come into our community, into the city of Pine Bluff, identifying it as the most dangerous city in Arkansas, and goes among in areas of the community and meets up with people that appear to be up to some sort of criminal activity. And it's very disturbing to me. It's very disturbing to people that have reached out to me. And I want to shed some light on this. I want to see what the community's thoughts are on this. Since my beginning of announcing my candidacy, I've talked about crime being at high levels within Jefferson County, and that we have got to be tougher on crime and have accountability to criminals and hold the line. I've also talked about having safe, efficient jail operations, collaboration and cooperation with local, state, and federal agencies. And I think this video sheds light on why that is so important, how we as a community must come together in order to stop the criminal activity, stop the bleed of people not wanting to live in Jefferson County and Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and change the narrative that is being published throughout this country for Pine Bluff, Arkansas, Jefferson County. So I would like to see anybody's thoughts on that. It was a video where a content creator came in here within the past week and went over into some areas off of Howard Drive in Pine Bluff, went to some corner stores. I understand what he might have been trying to do. The direct issue that I have is, as I've looked at the video, and I will, if you haven't seen the video, I would encourage you to check it out. I might shed a little bit of light of it on here, but this is a video where a 23-year-old man, I believe, out of Texas, who is a content creator and influencer, what have you, on social media, recently came into our community. I know he was here because I recognize businesses and people that are photographed or videoed during this series that he is putting out, labeling Pine Bluff as the most dangerous city in Arkansas, and then comes in contact with people that are obviously carrying illegal style weapons. They are bragging about it very brazenly, broad open daylight right in the middle of the neighborhood. And this is very troublesome and concerning to me as a citizen of Jefferson County, as a law enforcement professional. I'm not quite sure of the time of day that this occurred, but it is obviously daytime, right in the middle of the neighborhood. Several individuals walking down the middle of the road carrying assault weapons. And I have some grave concerns about this. In the aspect, were law enforcement contacted by the citizens? That is part of our community, is that we do need participation from our community, our citizens. We like to say, see something, say something. They reference some shootings that recently took place in the past 7 days. During the course of the video, they talk about one individual speaks about he saw the people that were shooters from an incident that happened about 6 days ago. Prior to the shooting, he just didn't know they were on that type of business, I think is the way he described it. But the disheartening, concerning part that's causing me to go live about this right now is that I keep getting messages, I keep getting phone calls, I keep getting texts from individuals wanting to know if I've seen it and what is being done about it. So I want to shed light on this for the community of Jefferson County, and importantly, the whole county, but Pine Bluff is where this took place, where an outside influencer has came into our community, highlighting Pine Bluff as being the most crime-ridden town in Arkansas. And he goes into the neighborhoods or a neighborhood and meets up with people that are obviously not in fear of repercussions. They are brazenly carrying assault weapons down the middle of the street. And if you've followed me for quite some time, you would have heard me say that one of the reasons why I decided to run was the lack of participation in the jail, the lack of ability of being able to take a known criminal carrying a weapon down the middle of the street, to hold him accountable for his law violations so the rest of the citizens can feel safe. And when ultimately that the jail refused to accept this individual, which caused me to question why that was, and it ultimately boiled down to leadership. So this is not so much about a political push for me. This is just shedding light on. I would ask, there's a few people on here, 7 people. Can I get you to like and share it possibly? Because this is very disturbing to me, very disturbing. When you look at this video, I will show just a little bit of it. Give me just a second. I believe this falls under the free usage. I want to share it just so you can see it. It's very disheartening, very concerning that this is right over in an area right off of Blake Street, right middle of the day. And I want to know, as a community, what are we going to do to stop this behavior? So I'm going to play that for you here in just a second.
TT did. But to get that girl her process one for her, I would have split your wig.
Notice these
Somehow you
individuals
ain't
are
had
walking
no
down the middle of
gun
the
whenever you
street.
with
This
me.
is an
But
area
nigga, I
known as
did.
Howard
I might go
Drive.
Draco with the 60 on the bottom
You
of that
see
bitch.
the
Or
assault
probably a Glock
weapons in
2
their
when you
hand.
fire the same one in this pick. Now I'm
This
about
is
to hit
obviously
your
in the
ass with
middle
either
of the
one, but I'll
day.
let you pick. I
This
don't know what the fuck be
is,
wrong with niggas trying to go against this shit.
have no idea
Oh,
who
smart
all
ass
lives in
nigga
this
waiting until he went
neighborhood.
to Texas and
This
made a
is
diss.
off of Howard
Some stupid
Drive. You can
shit
see
for
their
them leave
cars are
Miss
parked.
Nikki with only
There's
2
several
kids.
cars
You
to
really a
the
bitch ain't stood on shit. How the
somebody
fuck you
saw
slime for
something.
tips? You tried that shit and I watched you out this bitch. Stop flipping the script.
Heard
If I
something.
take a trip to Texas and
You
see
got
your
an
ass, I'm
entire
flipping
group
the
of
whip.
people
I
here
help
walking
you
down the middle of the
help you
street
get you
carrying
killed. It's
assault
really a
weapons.
simple. East side, you
Um,
really a bitch. You
and
wanna fuck
I
on
don't
T,
know
but
if
ain't
police
see a
saw,
thing. I
but I
really
know
a
during the
pimp.
course of this video,
Niggas get
I'm going
mad
to
when
play
they
the
couldn't
play
drive and
all
try
the
to
way
sink the
through
ship. Beat up your
because I
ride, come
want
through
to
the drive, tell Maya duck the
famous.
temp.
All right.
When I'm
Okay,
outside on
good.
every car,
The
like who
issue
the fuck is
is
them?
a matter
Oh,
of
bro.
what are we doing? What are we as a
That's some
community
punchlines in that
I
bitch.
don't
uh,
be on no regular
to
shit though. I just
to stop this
Texas and
behavior?
shit thinking they
You
can come
see
down
something,
here
say
and do
something about
certain
this
shit, but
behavior.
it's not Texas, this
What
not
are we
Chirac,
doing?
this not none of
And
that.
I'm asking all
This palm,
citizens of Jefferson County
bro,
to
bro,
please look at
it's
this.
gonna go down. I don't even
This
know.
reminds me of a
You gonna
third
get
world
that
country.
potato.
When I
All that
travel the
bullshit.
world, I've seen
All
things that
that tough
happen.
ass
We
shit.
fight wars in
I
areas
see y'all real aware, like real aware.
relevant. So this is not the normal behavior,
Bro, it's too
and
many
we
gang
have
and shit.
somewhat normalized this. And I say that because uh, they feel comfortable enough to walk down the street with these weapons with what appears to me no fear of law enforcement or repercussions. And so, what I'm saying to you is this is an entire community's issue. There are good, hardworking people within this community that are living within these neighborhoods. That, if you've heard me talk for any length of time, I've talked about the person that lives at 16th and Cherry not feeling safe to be able to go out into their neighborhoods and work in their yard, and it's like an imprisonment because they don't feel safe. Well, this isn't 16th and Cherry. This is Howard Drive, And there are those same people living in that neighborhood there's no way you could feel safe living in that neighborhood with this type of criminal, lawless behavior going on. And so I would be curious. The challenge to you is comment, like, and share this. I want to see what the community is thinking. What are they doing? What are they wanting done? Because again, during the course of that video, and I've watched it through, I believe, twice now, it sickens my stomach to know that this type of stuff is going on, and the fact that people have normalized this behavior and that it has become acceptable. And, we as a community have got to rise up and let the criminal element know that this behavior will not be tolerated. You have got to, when you see something, say something. Let law enforcement professionals like myself respond to the area, make it safe for you, hold people accountable for this brazen, lawless behavior. And it's insane to me that somebody was able to come in here from outside of Arkansas. I looked him up real quick. I believe it says his name was Young Mooch. You can look at the entire video if you want to on YouTube, but his name is Young Mooch. He comes out of Houston, Texas, and he has a significant following on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And he just is an influencer, a content creator, what have you. And this person has now came into our community, labeling it as the most crime-ridden city in Pine Bluff or in Arkansas. He's identified Pine Bluff as the most crime-ridden city in Arkansas. He has went into the neighborhoods in these communities and found individuals that have complete lawless behavior in our communities. And I am telling you, I am calling on the citizens of Jefferson County. I don't care if you like me or don't. This is about right and wrong. This is about see something, say something, and help your neighbor feel safe. Let's gain control back of Jefferson County. You need to call law enforcement professionals, allow them to know the information that you're seeing, allow us to have real-time crime activity to be able to curtail it in its time. And I just want to know, if you see something, would you say something? Are you aware of this video of existing? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts as a resident of Pine Bluff, Jefferson County, with this type of behavior going on? And ladies and gentlemen, this is not owed, because I can say that because they are referencing a shooting that occurred last Saturday night, I believe it was, Friday or Saturday night. They're referencing one that happened on Blank Street that I personally was involved in as far as response as a law enforcement professional too. And then now we're seeing it. I saw it yesterday, I think, for the first time. So within a matter of 3 or 4 days of a homicide happening in Pine Bluff with multiple people shot. Now this individual comes from out of state to our town, to our community, shedding light on that we're the most dangerous city in Arkansas, and was able to immediately locate individuals that have lawless behavior, who is not bashful or ashamed or fear of any repercussions, to walk down the middle of the street in a broad daylight with nobody saying nothing or nobody doing nothing. What are we going to do, ladies and gentlemen? What are you going to do? How can we solve this problem? What is your thoughts? Please let me hear that, because if this doesn't bother you, I think you need to take a reality check within yourself. If this has become normal for you, I think you need to step back and analyze your way of thinking. This cannot become normal and acceptable behavior. Ever since I saw this video yesterday, it has plagued me and bothered me and disturbed me. I was contacted by multiple people today wanting to know my thoughts on it. Had I seen it? What are we doing about it? And I am about to go to work here shortly. I don't have long to stay on here, but it was just on my heart that I wanted to, if I get it to one person, if this message can be out to one person, to say, if you see something, say something, call law enforcement, allow them to know that this type of lawless criminal behavior is going on within Jefferson County at the time that it's occurring, so we can respond and take care of it. I work with many law enforcement professionals that are wanting to serve you every single day. we are wanting to take the criminal element off the streets and hold them accountable for the crimes that are occurring. And I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, from a guy who has 22 years of law enforcement, who has 30 plus years of military and leadership experience, these individuals are not carrying these assault rifles down the middle of the street planning on going to Sunday school. I'm just letting you know. Their intent, their capabilities, their probabilities are that there is criminal activity, shootings going to occur. When you watch their own video, their own words throughout the course of the video, I'll tell you how long that is. It is a 23-minute video on YouTube. But their own words are that somebody gets shot at daily, if not gets shot down here. That's what they say. And they're talking about the group of people they're talking about. They mention parties and gatherings that people get shot at every time there is some type of gathering. So I would like to know your thoughts as a Jefferson County resident. What do you feel can be done to change this? How drastic of a problem do we have that this lawless behavior can go on within Jefferson County in the bright daylight? I mean, this isn't 2 o'clock in the morning. This is not 2 o'clock in the morning when everybody else is asleep. This is the bright daylight. Hey, Aunt Judy, I'm sorry. I'm going to call you here in a little bit. I've just been really caught up. But let me read your comment. You cannot let criminals walk down the streets carrying weapons. No one is doing anything about this. Our police force needs to do something about this, but our law enforcement can't do it by themselves. Everyone in this town needs to help and tell our police officers. This is the only way we're going to clean this town up. 100%, I agree with you there, Judy. I think that's exactly right. You know, I work in this field. I'm a law enforcement professional, and I believe there's no way we can do it by ourselves. There's only a handful of us, maybe a few more that are at work. We can't see everything. So it takes the community to see something, say something, call it in. And it is mind blowing to me that in the middle of the day, of the afternoon, appeared to be afternoon, that within the past 6 days, that someone can walk through our streets, right through one of our neighborhoods with these assault weapons, brazenly, carelessly, recklessly, knowingly, and intentionally, just disrespecting our societal rules and laws. So, hey, Christian, what can be done to change this? When I get into office, I can tell you that proactive policing through and through, neighborhoods, community relation building, partnering with, because this occurred within the city of Pine Bluff, so our sheriff's office would be partnering with them to increase the number of bodies that could be on the streets within the entire county, much less the city. Increase the probability of people calling in under anonymous tips. Identify strategic hot zones and implement strategic ways of patrolling those hot zones. Identify targets. I would take this video and I would identify those individuals, and I would get our programs involved in their life. Like currently, they utilize a program down here called GVI. So this video within itself, I'm not real familiar with the GVI program as far as the inner workings, the step-by-step process that they do, because I'm not assigned to that unit. But what I will tell you, I know of it. It's about getting resources and programs involved in people's lives that are prone to having group violence. And if this video doesn't speak to you that these individuals are what I would call a candidate, I don't know what else would be. Middle of the day, bright afternoon, assault weapons, walking down the middle of the street. So to answer your question, Christian, I would 100% have been involved with these people already. Matter of fact, it is 1:28 p.m. Plan on doing that here in just about an hour and a half. So I would just like to know people's thoughts on that. I don't know if you saw it. Again, it's a YouTube video. It's on Facebook, Instagram. It's put on by a guy by the name of Young Mooch. And I would encourage you to go out there and check it out, not to sensationalize what they've done. But I want a couple of things. I want you to learn, be careful. This is a dangerous city. This is a dangerous community. There are people out there that are acting with reckless and lawless behavior. But I want you to also understand the importance. If you see a crime, see suspicious or criminal activity, we need you to call 911. We need you to call and report that. We need you to hold elected officials. We need you to hold appointed officials accountable, specifically in the law enforcement and public safety arenas, that when you call something in, something is done about it. I need you to hold the accountability on jail operations. If you look at this video and you don't believe crime has been or is about to be conducted or is being conducted, I would love to hear your debate or argument on that. Again, that's a Young Mooch video that's on YouTube. You can also look up a video that was put up a couple years ago on YouTube in the same exact area where they've done a song and specifically talk about people being murdered and responsibilities and that type of stuff. So my point is, if that video that I just spoke about was done 2 years ago, and now here we are today, those same individuals are walking the streets with assault rifles. Tell me how that's not criminal. Tell me how their intent is not there to instill fear into our community and believe that they are the ones that's running this community. And the fact that law enforcement, I don't believe, was called on this event, and it's so disheartening to me. And it just, as I've encountered upon this race, and I talk about different things that have occurred, I think back to when I responded over on Dakota Street, or I'm sorry, Nebraska and 8th for a shooting that had occurred, and when I started canvassing the area and trying to talk to neighbors, friends, and relatives. And I would hear things like, I'm sorry, I just got a text message. When they would say that this is normal behavior, that let me know that criminal activity and lawlessness is becoming normalized in this community. And I just could not stand that anymore at all. And so I wanted to talk about what can we do, what can the citizens do from your perspective to help me as hopefully your next sheriff, but for sure a current law enforcement professional that's working in this community to help you feel safer, collaborate with the community to make this a safer place where each and every one of you feel safe and secure in your own homes and in your neighborhoods and in your yards. So I would love to hear your thoughts on that. Judy spoke up about it takes the entire community. Christian asked what I can do to under my administration. This is not just about me. This is about an entire community, about an entire process to eliminate this type of behavior. We have got to bring in training and education, take people out of poverty, but it starts with being accountable and tougher on crime, period. We've got to let people know there is no way that these individuals, in my mind, it doesn't make sense that these individuals who are walking down the street, if they thought there was a slight chance of them being caught, a slight chance of them being held accountable, that they would have even done this. But the fact that they did it, that tells me they don't think there's any accountability. They don't think if they do get caught that there's not going to be very harsh punishments pushed down for them for that. And that's the part that's unacceptable, because that type of behavior leads to homicides. It leads to terroristic acts. It leads to battery first. It leads to people being shot and lives being lost. And we just cannot sit back and tolerate it anymore, period. Okay, Lisa says a lot of people are scared to report it due to retaliation on them. So Lisa, what I would tell you to that is I understand that. However, there are ways to report things anonymously. You're not required to leave your name. You're not required to leave your number. And if you're scared, and I say that, and I don't mean it lightheartedly, but your words were they're scared. If you're scared by these people walking down the neighborhood, these people shooting everywhere, these people just having this lawless type behavior and this lawless mentality, and then you say some people are scared because of retaliation. Either way, you're scared. So would you rather be scared with some help coming or scared by intimidation? I would like to encourage people to be lean towards the side of if you had to be scared with some help coming. I get it. I understand. Nobody wants to be punched in the mouth. Nobody wants to be shot. Nobody wants bad things to happen. And I understand in certain communities and around the world, there is retaliation that happens. And what I could say to that is we've got to fix that. Once one of us citizens is able to make a difference, the next one says, well, if they can do it, I can do it. And it spreads like wildfire. It's like random act of kindnesses, opening doors for people, leaving an extra tip, buying a drink for the person behind you, whatever that looks like to you, that it does spread. It has been shown that good behavior breeds good behavior. And so I believe that same thing would be true when people understand that your neighbor is calling in on you and holding you accountable. And then you become one that feels comfortable with that and less scared or afraid. I would tell you that law enforcement in this community is on your side. I would say we will do everything we can do to provide services for you to feel as safe as possible. But I would definitely have to say that we're going to need the community to see something, say something, period. There's no way we can be in every street, in every neighborhood, and every shift with the amount of call volume that goes on. There's just no way. So anyway, I'm not going to stay on here much longer because I do have to get ready for work, but I just do want to remind people, that this type of behavior is unacceptable and that we should not be tolerating it as a community. I'm going to let it so we can, people who did not see it, that they could see this type of flawless behavior that individuals in the middle of a neighborhood, in the middle of the day, are carrying firearms, assault. You can see in the video there's traffic traveling back behind them, which is going to be on, I believe, 17th Avenue, a few blocks away. And then, here there's neighbors, like I say, you see cars at home. And so, which I would assume that there are neighbors there. I would assume that people are home from work or what have you, and they're not calling this in. So at any point in the 23 minutes, I didn't see police lights or police presence at all. So we have got to do something to get a hold of this epidemic problem that is causing the criminal element to thrive within Jefferson County. And we've got to do something about this. I'm calling on all citizens to stand up, rise against these criminals, notify police, professionals, allow us to do our jobs to keep you safe. I'm watching this video just a little bit more to see if there's more showing for you to to get the grasp and the point of what I'm talking about. Let's see. Okay, here we'll back up. So here we go. So
Waiting on me.
this
This nigga quit
individual right
doing that capping
here,
like grandma
the
did save me
black
from some shit.
stocky Nike
Just keep it
symbol,
real. Who said you in the yard nigga
does
CT
have
did? Better get that girl her purse. One for her, I would split your wig. Somehow you ain't had no gun
an
when never
assault
with me, but
rifle
nigga
in
I
his
did.
left
A micro
arm.
Draco with the 60 on the
Now he just
bottom of
moved it
that
to his
bitch.
right
Or
arm.
probably a Glock 205, the same one in the
This
pick.
guy right
Now
here
I'm
in the
about to hit
black
your ass with either
hoodie
one,
with
but I'll let you
a
pick. I
chain
don't know what the fuck be
around
wrong with niggas trying to go against
he is
this shit.
a
Oh,
rifle
smart ass
in his
nigga went
right
into
hand,
them with the Texans and made a diss.
and
Some
the
stupid
other
shit finna
individual
leave Miss Nikki
holding
with
the
only two
waistband
kids. You really a
is
bitch ain't stood on shit. How the fuck
could
you
have
slime for
weapons.
clips? You
But
tried that
basically,
shit and I
if you
watched
look,
you out
there's a
there.
red
Stop
truck back
flipping the
here to your
script.
left,
If I
cars on
take a
the
trip to
street here to
Texas and
the
see
right,
your ass, I'm
to the
flipping a whip.
top.
I had to that truck to get you
There's
killed.
people
You
at
really a
home.
simp.
People are at
Besides, you
home.
really a
I
bitch.
know
Do you
this
want to
appears
fuck
to be a
on
nice
T, but
day.
ain't see a
I'm one
thing
of
or
those
really a pimp?
heavy duty
Niggas get mad when they can't drive and
you
try to
would think
sink the
that
ship.
people to
beat
be
up your
in and
ride,
out,
come through the drive, tell Mike
raising
duck his him.
up right
When
there.
I'm
That's
outside on every car, like who the fuck is
ridiculous.
them?
I don't understand
Oh,
this.
bro.
How we're
That's some
tolerating.
punchlines in that
So
Yeah, I
bitch.
don't be on
again,
no
I'm
rap
fixing to
shit,
remove
though. I
that
just,
from our scene.
by the
So I
way,
don't want to just continue trying to highlight their bad behavior, but I want to show you the significance of why this is going on in our community and how in the heck are we staying silent about it. This is very disheartening. This is very concerning. This is very uh, much emphasizes my point that we have got to be tougher on crime, hold accountability, have the jail open, and be involved in criminals' lives so they quit thinking that it's okay to run around Jefferson County, run around Pine Bluff, Arkansas with assault weapons in hand, bright daytime. It's not even acceptable at night, but this is the most in your face moment that I can think of. That these criminals have just said, we don't care. We're going to do it. Doesn't matter what the police say. It doesn't matter what the community says. It doesn't matter what the law says. We're going to do our own thing. We're going to have these assault rifles. We're going to walk down the middle of the street. We're going to be bold and we're going to be brass about it. And I challenge you to challenge me. That's what that says. So I'm just letting you know that Chris Lowery, your independent candidate for Jefferson County Sheriff, will not tolerate it. Chris Lowery is your current law enforcement professional in your community, will not tolerate it. And we will be out and about doing our part today. If you see something, say something, call 911, let the professionals come out, help you regain control of your neighborhoods. Again, this is Chris Lowery, your independent candidate for Jefferson County Sheriff 2026. Please reach out to me at 870-556-0330. If you don't want to call 911 and want to completely remain anonymous, I have zero problems with facilitating the response that is needed and make our communities safe once again. And as always, I want you to remember this: be safe, be happy, and remember, God bless Jefferson County.